Good evening, guys. I'm actually streaming from my room, my room's window in Istanbul, very close to Taksim. Actually, well, 2 minutes or 3 minutes walk away from Istiklal Street, and about 4 or 5 minutes away from Taksim and Gezi Park. And I don't know how long it will be. It will take us this night, as I'm, you know, broadcasting from the room and not from the streets where things are happening, but somehow, well, we'll talk about it. I'm in the introduction now. Anyway, it's been 24 hours since yesterday's brutal eviction of camp of Gezi Park, and it's also my last night in Istanbul. I was planning in advance to leave in Monday evening, which is tomorrow, and this Monday evening is arriving. So this is my last night. Tomorrow at this time I'll be flying back home. Um, so I would like to take this stream, which might be the last one or one of the last ones, to maybe sum up for with you guys, with some of you that went through this. I've been here for like 11 or 12 days. It's quite a long time and quite intense time. So those of you who spend at least few days or nights together, it will be an opportunity to also maybe, well, we'll see what we're gonna take you to together. Anyway, I think we'll start with some, to sum up a little bit what was today like. I mean, from the information I have, and I'd love to share it with, if you have any sources from whatever, from social media, from other channels, from your friends, from things that you know. Don't hesitate to write it, and I'll read it to the others. We'll share it, and really, I would like to know more than I know, and I can share from my experience here in this area that I am at. Um, and I also want to share a little bit my feelings, you know, this day, and actually all this period in Istanbul wasn't only, telling what's going on. It was also experiencing it and, feel it, and I feel really mentally invested here in these almost 2 weeks. So I guess I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because tonight it's stronger than me, and it's you got to know me a little bit. I am a little bit personal, but today I might be more. So it's kind of a disclaimer for that. Um, I don't know which other channels are streaming now, but if you know about them, you can always check in Revolt Istanbul in live stream. It's a good place to check what's on in Istanbul these days. They're my friends, and they're doing a great job. Um, so you can check out there. And let's start. Okay, so right now at the moment, well, it might look dark a little bit. I'll get in a little and I'll show you some of the TV, but before that I'll just tell you can't really see it from here because it's too far and I cannot zoom with the Ustream application. But just down there, see where I'm hiding now with my finger, is I mean, with my eyes I can see really clear. There are police cars, and actually there is a barrier there that avoids people from, especially cars, for heading towards Taksim, which is just, I don't know, a kilometer from there. Um and I don't see now the Toma from here. Maybe just changed a little bit a place, but it was there since yesterday. By the way, yesterday when I went out from here to stream from the Jihangir neighborhood, that 9 o'clock, that everyday, the everyday 9 o'clock uh, knocking on pots and making lots of noise in the neighborhood. I just, a few minutes before I went out, I just looked through my windows and I saw those Thomas and police cars there, and it looked strange to me. And I remember that I just called somebody and said that, and then 20 minutes later, when I was in the neighborhood, um, he called back and told me, Gezi Park is being attacked right now. So I'm still under this, quite sad and strong impression, and I guess it's going to be present as well. So let's get in a little bit. The TV is on. The TV now is on Hulk TV. We'll try to, today I don't have help from. Yesterday when I was in my friend's flat here, not so far in a close by neighborhood, there was a Turkish nice teenager there, and she was very helpful with translations. As you already know, Halk TV is the only Turkish channel that is, well, telling the whole picture. That's what people here are saying. Um, so if we have Turkish viewers, and I guess we have, it would be nice if, or kind of you, if you translate for us. Not everything, because there is a limit with writing here, and it cuts after a few words. But if you just give us even the main ideas, it will help. Anyway, we do see now from DHA, which is another platform, but it's another channel. But we see now. I don't know what we see because I don't know what is Ali Tanriverdi Sanarist. But if somebody can tell us, I know that. By the way, I hear shoots now. I mean, outside the window. We'll just go there and see. Sometimes, I mean, there are. Okay, you know what? Let me organize it a bit. I'll tell you. Actually, all day long, there is lots of. Oh, actually, it's fireworks over there. So this is really strange. I'm always confused. You see the fireworks over there? There. Yeah. These are fireworks. It's not in Taksim. It's in another neighborhood. So somebody's celebrating something, so it's got nothing to do with the unless it's unless those fireworks are from the I don't know in what time the Prime Minister Erdogan had a meeting today or a rally with his supporters. I don't know where it takes place and if these fireworks has got to do something with that, but it was a good opportunity to mention that. So let's talk about this morning and this day. This day was during the whole day. There was a lot of gas um, all over Taksim and the neighborhoods nearby. I can tell you that when I went out from this little hotel I'm in, there was gas all over. I had to buy myself new stuff because it was really impossible to go out. And also it took me some hours to decide that I'm going out, that it's safe enough. I was spending the whole first half of the day watching TV and I don't know, reading social media in my room. And then I went to Istiklal Street. I didn't feel safe enough. I mean, I did open some for a short time a stream. I streamed for well about 20 minutes, but the street was really full with police, and it was okay to be there. I mean, I didn't feel unsafe, but streaming there is, I don't know, it made me feel a little bit strange and too much exposed, and I don't know. So I decided not to do that there. Um, Um, I, I, I would like to know if the picture is okay. That will help us too. Um, okay. And what I want to tell you, you know what? let's start from the beginning. As I told you yesterday, actually, I was broadcasting yesterday, from my friend's flat. And then around 4 o'clock a.m., I decided to move back to my place. And it was silent enough when I went down to the street. But then after a few minutes, I understood that it's not really like that. She's living near a place that was tear gassed because of a hospital that is there. And okay, and then I just found myself near that hospital. Um, the neighborhood is Jihangir, and I mean, the hospital is the German hospital that people were actually, um, wounded people, injured people were at first. They brought them to the regular place, the Divan Hotel, but Divan Hotel is very close to the back entrance of or the back exit from Gezi Park. But he was tear gassed. Police had entered to the hotel, and in the lobby they tear gassed people, and they arrested doctors that were supposed to take care of patients of people injured, and their excuse was that they're helping terrorists, and they didn't use these words exactly, but that was the idea. And then um, and then then they called people to come and help because they were lacking personnel because people were arrested. I mean, especially doctors were arrested, and also they felt insecure there, so they asked, they took people to the German hospital, but then police came to the German hospital, and I don't know. I think that even if there is a dispute or a fight, we know that even between countries, between enemies, there are some, there is the Geneva Convention. There are things that you don't do, like you never ride on a hospital, you never arrest doctors, you never enter to a hospital and tear gas inside the hospital, and those things, from what we know, have been done since yesterday. So I was just telling you how I got to my hotel. It wasn't as easy as I thought it will be, although it's maybe 10 minutes walk. But the roads were, it was dark, and I didn't know where exactly the police is. And I just walked maybe 1 minute, and then I saw that people were revolting last night. I mean, people were out in the streets people were on the streets. They were clashing with the police, or protesting, or just standing there, and what happened was that the police was chasing them, and just in front of the entrance to the police, sorry, I mean, in the area of the hospital, there was one shop that was. It turned to be in an infirmary for the people that need help outside, and I just found myself there with the stuff when they just the police attacked in the area. So what they did was they immediately entered, everybody entered to the shop, and then they just shut the electric. It's like a metal window that is that is actually the entrance to the shop, and they just turn it off. I mean, they locked it, and we were locked inside, like hiding from the. By the way, what you hear now is the rain. Maybe you hear the rain. There is a quite heavy rain outside. So we were there. We were there spending like an hour, keeping really, really silent. When the police is outside and you hear the bombs, you hear them, shooting gas bombs, and there are shouts outside, and like they are looking for people, and we're inside. Okay, that was really, and I wasn't scared, but the feeling was not really good, because thinking that it sounds really strange that the government is actually chasing her own people and treat them like enemies that are really chased, that they're looking from house. They didn't look from house to house, but they were in the area. So it felt quite. Yeah, somebody's also writing us about the fireworks. I'm getting it in a delay that these fireworks could be the pro-AKP, the party of Erdogan, or pro-Erdogan people. They had a huge rally today. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, so eventually, after an hour inside that improvised infirmary that was closed from the inside, and we were just there hoping that they will not intrude. There was a moment of that they gone. I mean, the police was gone, and then the owner of the shop said that it's getting him in too much trouble, and then he asked us to leave. So we all we packed things very fast, and we went out. And when I shared this experience today with some friends of mine back home, they just said that it sounds like some real bad stories. Well, 6 years ago, if you know what I mean. So I don't want to go that far, but yeah, I understood what they're talking about. So that was yesterday, and eventually I just, found myself there in the neighborhood, in the streets. I couldn't stay in that infirmary, and then I just saw a taxi, and I asked the driver to take me back to the hotel, but it couldn't get up to the hotel because, as you saw, there is a barrier here, but so eventually I just walked few hundred meters next to the police, but it was really strange to see how this city runs today, because it's not that people are under siege. They didn't put a curfew on the city, and they didn't ask people to stay in their houses. So people are staying. I mean, some of them are staying, but it's really strange to see the city today. I mean, one street can be very packed with police and with activists that are clashing with them, and I've seen many people arrested today in Istiklal area, in Sili Salveri, I forgot now the name, but it's one street above Istiklal.